Hey, welcome to this new version of Yak, that's version 0.8.4.3, which brings some bit of new content and some improvement over the existing features. So let's start with the content. We've got a new collection of weapons. You can see by their design that they can be used as cursed weapons maybe, or high fantasy magical weapons. We've got a large sword, we've got a big axe, some daggers here, a regular sword, and a bow. I'm going to take a bit of altitude to show you the next thing. All the trays can now be dragged around using the mouse. So this can be practical, for example, when you want to choose a creature, you want to have a closer look, you can. And when you're done with it, you can just put the tray aside and continue to play. The rest of the video will entirely take place on the portable desk here, which received a fair amount of improvement. So first of all, you can see that we've got a large copy of the journal. Then we've got a copy of the existing character sheets. The idea here is that the full headset UI can be used by the dungeon master for admin tasks, and that the regular players can use only the portable desk here. The desk can still be dragged around, but it can also now be rotated using this button here. And by clicking the button, you can see that I force the desk to face me so that it becomes readable again. Okay. I even have an option here, a checkbox, to force the desk to always face me. So I can still move it around, of course, but now it's going to be all the time facing me. Okay, I'm going to disable the option, and I'm going to need a new character sheet here, so I'm going to create a copy, rename it test, so that we can work on it. So by the way, this can only be done, creation can only be done in the full headset UI, because this one is just a copy and a read-only. Again, it's not supposed to be used for admin tasks. So we've got our test character sheets here, and I can show you that there are a few new options in the UI. So first of all, you can still, of course, enable or disable the transparency. You can still hide or show the full UI, but you've got a new checkbox here that will hide everything but the hand, so that you can move around the final result, and it's much more practical to design your character sheet that way. Next, you can see on the UI of the field here that we've got some new options here. The first is very simple. It's to enable or disable the frame around the field. So you can disable it for a nicer result when it's not needed, but when it's needed, for example, to separate different fields, you can just display it. Okay? And finally, we've got a field to change the font size. The default font size is 8. And the problem with the way it was previously working is that you could only rescale the whole field here, and by doing so you can see that the font does not rescale up very well, because it's not a vector. It's not a vector font. It's a bitmap font. So the result was not very nice. So I decided to give the possibility to change the font size, to choose the font size, and you can see that now you can let the field at its native scale, and by just rescaling the font here, you've got a much nicer and crispier look at the end. Okay, so that's it. Let me show you, before ending the video, a small example of how all that is used. So I'm going to hide everything here, make everything transparent, choose the dragon. Oh, by the way, the character sheets are of course still fully automated, so you can see that if I change the level of the dragons, let's say 2, then I change the number of dice for the fireball. Let's go up to 8 and I've got 11 dice here, so I can just click on the button here and you see that the dice will be rolled. The dragon is firing his attack. Apparently we've got some reroll here. Okay. Very lucky roll apparently. Angry dragon. Okay, so that's finished. So when we're done, we can just put the tray aside. We can mess up the dice if we want. That's fun. Okay, and you can see that the results are all displayed on the journal here. We've got all the details and everything. Okay. So that's it for the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If it's the case, then see you in the next. Thanks. Bye bye.